Today we're talking about this mean green muscle machine. Meanwhile, some of us here have taken that mean green moniker a little too literally. You're a nerd and your head is too big for your body. See what I mean? Hey all you cool cults out there, I'm Josh, this is Josh Builds Stuff, and if you're here to hear me talk about my impressions and thoughts about this new Mustang car, you're in the right place. If that's not why you're here, well, I hope it takes you at least 7 or 8 minutes to realize that, and you'll end up sticking around for most of the video anyway. Today we're talking about the new LEGO Ford Mustang Shelby GT500, a car named after a plane, named after a horse, which uses the logo of a snake, which is named after a dude named Shelby, I think, or Mustang, which might just be a very insistent character from Avatar. In any case, this is the LEGO Technic set that we are talking about today. This one just came out at the beginning of January in 2022. It contains 544 pieces and costs a cool $50 here in the US. My initial impressions of this set. I am actually of two minds. On one hand, I don't actually like Mustang vehicles that much. Sorry, Ryan, I think they're the car that a lot of military dudes buy when they got a bunch of cash burning a hole in their pocket when they get back from a deployment. Sorry, Shy. On the other hand, this set combined with its the other Technic Formula E car that came out at the same time, those two sets combined are contenders for my set of the year so far for 2022. Granted, it's only the end of January when I'm making this video, so we still got a while to go, but I have had so much fun playing with these cars, which I would love to tell you more about. All of the enjoyment that I've gotten out of these vehicles and why I like them so much. We'll even have a chat with a Mustang expert, I dare to call him. But first, we have to talk about the build process for this set. The build for this set was nice and straightforward as far as LEGO Technic builds go. I'm not going to try to convince you why you should like LEGO Technic sets if you don't like them already. I will say, though, that you are seriously missing out on a great LEGO set by not building this one. I get it, a lot of this build is the usual LEGO Technic pins and axles and big stickered plates on top of them, and the process might not seem that enjoyable, but it's not terribly complicated here. I think these 500-piece Technic sets are like the sweet spot of Technic. They take about, I don't know, hour and a half to 2 hours to build if you're moving quickly. You've got a lot of cool mechanical elements going on here, but like I said, this one is not as complex as some cars I've built in the past. When you're finished, regardless of your feelings on the Phillies or the Mustangs, what you're left with at the end of this build is a pretty great looking car. When I asked my wife her impressions on the new LEGO Technic Ford Mustang Shelby GT500, she said, GT? That sounds pretty nice to me, implying that she would like a cup of tea, which I will frequently bring her before bedtime. I'll make her like a sleepy time or a chamomile blend, but on the subject of the car, she didn't have a lot of thoughts. But I do know someone who does know something about Ford Mustangs. That's my brother. He owned a Ford Mustang at one point in time. So I thought it'd be fun to call him and get his impressions on this new vehicle. Oh, he just texted me back. He said, I do love me a nice Cobra. I don't know if he's talking about a car or like the actual, like a venomous snake. That could be, let's get some clarification.
Hello.
Hey brother, how are you?
Oh my god, that's loud. Sorry, you're on speakerphone.
You're on speakerphone.
I'm good, dude. How are you?
I'm doing well. I thought I would give you a call to get your impressions on the new Ford Mustang Shelby GT500.
I think you could absolutely get one.
Oh, that wasn't my question at all.
GT500 is the best Mustang.
Well, I'm looking for an expert's opinion on Mustangs because you used to own a Mustang. Is that true?
Yeah, I had a 66.
A 66.
With a 308.
A 308.
Which didn't normally come in the 66. They usually comes with a 289.
Obviously.
But mine were upgraded to a Boss.
Right. You don't have that car anymore.
I sold that super long ago.
But that doesn't make you any less of a Mustang expert.
Well, Mustangs themselves, in my opinion, are like the worst cars ever. Pretty much don't like any of them except for the GT500.
Hey, I also don't like Mustangs.
But the GT500 is awesome.
Also, do I have your consent to use this conversation in a video?
I'm on YouTube right now, aren't I?
No, a brother can call his brother just to say hey and say he loves him and he misses him and that, yes, he's on YouTube right now.
Yeah, no problem.
Not live. I mean, I'll cut this conversation down to use the relevant parts if anything comes out of it.
I think you need to call Nicolas Cage. Eleanor.
Do you have his phone number?
I used to it somewhere around here.
I'll Google it. I'll Google him. Give him a Google. How are you and the family?
Oh, pretty good. I mean, family's fine. Am I still on YouTube right now?
Oh, I won't use this part unless it's
I'm just joking.
Entertaining.
No, I'm literally studying right now for my private pilot check ride. I've got my check ride next week for my license.
That's exciting. And don't tell our parents because they'll have anxiety. There's an airplane called a Mustang.
Yeah, P-51 Mustang.
Yeah, P-51. That's what I was going to say.
That's sick.
You want to mega construct Cybertruck?
Yeah, absolutely. I do, actually.
I'll give you one. It's just sitting in my closet. I'm not doing anything with it. Otherwise, though, you got any final impressions on a LEGO Technic Ford Mustang Shelby GT500?
Like $50 at Target. It looks like I've seen this before. I always thought that it looked like a Camaro.
Well, because you can only get so much detail into a $50 LEGO Technic set that I was about to say, it just looks like a, you can call it any muscle car at this point. Might as well slap the Mustang license on it.
They just built a car and slapped the Cobra on the front of it.
Yep. Yeah.
No, pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, that was my my reason for the call, was just to kind of take advantage of family ties and probably get a bit out of it for the video, which I think we have.
Yeah, I trust you.
Yeah, probably shouldn't, but we're brothers, so by default you have to.
All right, dude. I gotta go, so I gotta finish studying.
Yeah, I gotta go talk about this Lego car, so we're like in the same boat, you know?
All right, man. Talk to you later.
I love you.
Love you.
I'll FaceTime you when our parents are in town.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Later.
No, you hang up. Oh, he hung up. Cool guy, that brother of mine. Not as cool as his younger brother, but cool guy. Why do we like this set so much? Well, it's certainly not because it's the most aesthetically pleasing LEGO Technic set ever designed. It's certainly not because it doesn't use stickers to make a lot of the details in the set. It's not because of the functionality of a lot of other Technic sets, like opening doors, because this one doesn't, or actual steering, because this one doesn't have that either, or a hood that opens because it's got like this part that opens, but that's not really a hood. No. Why do we like this set so much? It's because of the playability. You may have noticed the large garish looking lever on the back of this set. Don't worry, it's optional. You could remove that if you wanted to. Pop on a somewhat normal looking Shelby logo on the back there. But what this car is designed to do is drag race. You may have noticed on the box for these Technic sets, it shows that it's like, hey, there's an AR app that you can get to interact with these sets. You can. It's actually excellent. I'm going to make a whole separate video about it. But what these sets are designed to do, like I said, is drag race. If that lever is down, this vehicle will operate like a normal pullback car. Inside here, there are two different LEGO pullback motors. That's like a dual motor Tesla right there. That's like a fancy thing, I think. But it operates like a normal pullback vehicle, as you can see. But if I put that lever up, it acts like a locking mechanism for that pullback thing. Forgive me if this has been functionality of like other Technic cars, but I haven't had this before. Literally, I was just reviewing like the LEGO monster trucks that are Technic sets, and to get those to pull back, to like really rev them up, you gotta like pull them back and lift up the tires and pull back, lift up the tires. There was no locking mechanism in those sets, and my kids kind of struggled to get those really up to speed. But this one, you can see I'm winding it, and it kind of locks into place where it is. And then if I push that lever, guess what's going to happen? It's this. It takes off like a rocket, or like a really fast snake, I guess is what it's named after, a cobra. But that's like the coolest feature. And like I said, this set has a whole AR app designed to go along with it, which like integrates the vehicle in a drag race, like drag strip going on, and like at times you going down the strip, it's got like effects and sound effects, and it's got a lot of cool stuff. In any case, me and my kids have been having so much fun with this car And like I said, the Formula E car, which also has a lever on the back. I'm not going to do a whole review on this car, but a lot of the same functionality there with the pullback mechanism that's built in. So regardless of your thoughts on this car as a Mustang or whatever, it's got that sweet drag racing action, which is just, it's sold it for me. One final thought on the aesthetics of this set. Sure, I'm with you if you say this doesn't exactly resemble a Mustang. I think LEGO did a fine enough job for the scale here. If I look at it from the side, I could be convinced that, I don't know, looks like a Porsche, but I'm uneducated. And I think that any coupe car, which ends mostly in that profile, I would call a Porsche. But I think LEGO did a good enough job, especially with that front end. That's a pretty great looking front end. A lot of the B-roll that I've shown throughout this video has been of that front end. I think that's the best looking part of this car. Otherwise, sure, might as well call this just like LEGO Technic muscle car. It could be a Camaro, it could be a Mustang, it could be a third type of muscle car, which I definitely could name if I wanted to, but I'll leave that up to you to name in the comments down below. What muscle car could this car be? So in conclusion, this is okay in the looks department, but it's got a great personality. So basically, the opposite of me. So there you have it, another great addition to the LEGO Technic vehicle lineup with the addition of the LEGO Technic Ford Mustang Shelby GT500. And I hope we've learned something here. It's that we don't like Mustangs, but we do like them if they're GT500s, or maybe we just like Cobras as snakes. I'm not 100% sure. And as with a lot of LEGO Technic sets, this one doesn't win any awards for aesthetics alone, but where it really wins out is in the functionality. I understand a lot of you out there won't buy this just because it is Technic, and that's okay. I just think you're missing out a little bit. Just like I think you're missing out on more quote-unquote great content like this by not hitting that like and subscribe button. As always, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.
But I probably watched like at least 1 out of every 32 of your videos.
You don't say.
But I did see the one where you were doing the motorcycle, where you're talking to that guy or whatever.
I'm holding the motorcycle right now. That's Shy. Shy time is my time. You'd like him. He's a former Marine also.
But that line where you're like, when you're like, hey, my brother gave me these boots. Is that stolen valor? That literally made me laugh out loud. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I had told him specifically to act serious the whole time. And Shy's the giggliest Marine I've ever met. He laughs at everything. But he came back on screen after that and was cracking up.
Yeah, that was a really funny line.